Greetings, programs! Welcome back to CK2. And last time, well, we ended one war, we took back our county in Finland, but we ended up getting sucked into another one via our alliance with Denmark. But I've decided, I've taken the executive decision, we're actually not going to help Denmark out in this one. Partly because, well, if Denmark gets weakened a little bit by the Company of the Hat, then, yeah, the Hat invasion. Then that's fine for me in the long term. You know, that works out very nicely. And also, it actually would be quite amusing to see the Company of the Hat take a bit of Denmark, because the Company of the Hat, if you remember, at one point owned Venice, although that is now a part of Pisa. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my troops right around. I'm going to take them into Suomi. We're going to get some boats over there to bring my retinues back, and the rest of them we're just going to disband then right there. So if I remember correctly, it's about 4,000 men in my retinue. Something like that. In fact, we actually got a bit more retinue cap to play with there as well, so that's quite nice. But what we'll do is I will raise my boats, and we don't, I think, let's see, need too many. So that's going to be, oh god, 30 something, 36 boats. And Cumberland has boats. 14. That should be more than enough boats. So what my plan is to try and concentrate more on England this time round. Now England's still got the civil war going on. There's also, well, talking of civil wars, France is a proper mess right now. But yeah, I have a casus belli, but unfortunately it's not a particularly good one. Now, I was checking to see with this very, very useful page in the ledger that I don't use nearly often enough. Page 14, our claimants, and it lets you see people in your realm who have claims on titles outside of your realm. So, for instance, the Queen Mother has a claim on the Kingdom of Poland, but I don't think I could take Poland at the moment, and I'm not particularly interested in taking Poland either. That would be very hard to govern at this distance. There's also, let's see, County of Ossory, which we will take at some point, but we've already got the Count of Leinster doing that of their own accord. We've got a barony that we don't care about, the County of Warrick, now this is the one we're interested in, and the Duchy of Mercia. But having checked, I can only actually declare war for the County of Warrick. For some reason, even though this character, Princess Jaina, has a claim on the entire duchy, I can't press that claim. I'm not quite sure why. I also still have a claim on Denmark, but we're allied with Denmark at the moment, so that would be a bit bad. York, again, I could use that, but that's the Vassal Bishop of Durham, and I don't particularly want to give him... it would make the borders a bit messy. And also, well, having a vassal bishop actually wouldn't be a terrible idea, but it's mainly because it would make the borders messy. I'm going to be fussy about it. Aquitaine and France, well, yeah, we're not taking on... I mean, we don't want to particularly get entrenched in the continent right now. And what were the other ones? Gloucester. We've got a claim on Duchy of Huys, but for some reason I can't go after that claim. And the County of Satakunta, which is, let's see, that one we might actually be able to use. That's kind of tempting, actually. We could declare war against this guy. We might actually do that one first, because if I can let my levies recover and just use my retinues for that, because it's not a holy war, it should be fine. So I'll actually just route all the boats straight there. And we'll give that a go. Now, there's going to be a bunch of Tanistry messages popping up. You'll also notice two titles can be created. Wales. I can make Wales right now, but we're not going to just yet, because that's going to be an expensive one. Unlanded Sons. We don't really... That's not really a thing. Chancellor of Lancaster has been trying to create... there we go. So he's... fabricated a claim on somewhere. What I could do is actually take my Chancellor down here and try and take multiple counties within... Oh, no, I can't, because I only just moved them in the last... Oh, never mind. Well, anyway, so Oswald Caption guy. Oh, he's a Caption guy, is he? He's a no good, dirty, down, low... Yeah, I can't remember how the rest of that quote goes. But anyway, the Duke of Lancaster, who's currently rebelling against England. But I'm trying to fabricate a claim on him, so it's all fair, I suppose. Right, so, let's get rid of the retinues. That, not the retinues, everything but the retinues, rather. That leaves us with 4,000 men, and I can basically press a claim right now. And this is my son-in-law, and he's of Dublin. He's fake Scottish. He's got the right culture. I'm not quite sure how he's got a claim. He's also got a claim on the Prince Bishopric of Suomi. Obviously, we're not going to let him have that. But was he the one? Was it his? His father was the count, and he must have fabricated a claim or something like that. But basically, we're going to press that claim. And even though his father was the one that revolted, we're going to do this. And he's got a couple of allies. Oh, Grand Prince of Novgorod. I think I should have checked that first. It's fine though. Nice quick war. It'll be nice and quick. Surely he won't call in Novgorod. Surely. Anyway, we'll get rid of that for now. We'll get rid of that one for now. We might need to bring in an ally. And yeah, I really hope that the Company of the Hat takes a bit of Denmark, because that would just be hilarious. So anyway, 4,000 men. I mean, we can beat just Satakuntanz in a fight, but if they bring in Novgorod... Well, actually, Novgorod's not that big. It's like, what, 2 provinces? So, yeah, no, I think we could actually take Novgorod if it came to that. Let's just merge those while they're in the Denmark Strait. That's probably slightly more ships than we need, but anyway. Meanwhile, King... Has he just come? Yes, I think he's actually just come to the... Oh, wait. Okay, so much for the civil wars. They just won. Okay, never mind. Derby's still. Let's see. Duchy of East Anglia. Do I have cause to declare war on those? Declare war on them? No, sadly not. Yeah. Okay. Caption guy. A caption guy is back on the throne. They won the civil war to put a caption guy on the throne, which is not so good for me. But England's still gonna be fairly weak after all these civil wars, so we're just gonna ignore that one. Talking of actual laws, though, realm laws. Let's see, we wanted higher crown authority, didn't we? But first off, I'm going to check vassal opinions before we do anything like that. Because, actually, we order them by rank. That's probably the best way to do it. Right, we've got a couple of dukes that don't like me. Enough to be a problem. Yeah, there's enough that we might end up with a civil war if I try and increase crown authority just now. So we're not going to do that just yet. Anyway, this fight is... Oh, there we go. We've got the County of Ossory, so that's the Duke of Leinster's cemented our hold on Ireland. So that's fine. It's also nice and neat. Now, it would be nice to get medium crown authority because my vassals couldn't declare war against each other anymore, and that would keep my internal borders a bit neater. It would also mean that I wouldn't get excessively powerful dukes popping up, which is always a concern. But I think once we've gotten peace for a few years, I will... What I could do, actually, having said even peace for a few years, I think we've got some titles we can give out. Now, I don't think... No, in newer versions of the game, there's a nice little button you can press here, and grant minor titles, and it just brings up a list. But, of course, this is quite an old version of the game at this point. This is version 204. This is at least 2 or 3 major DLCs behind the curve. And it's going back at least a year plus. So this is, you know, not a particularly new version, but we'll try and sprinkle some titles and things on the ones. Duke of Connacht, for instance, we might be able to give him something that... slight opinion bump, okay. We've also got a couple of others to give out. There's no point to, like... The Duchess of Moray really doesn't like me, minus 60. But she's got... I've got multiple counties within Moray, so it's no wonder that she wants... That's always going to be a tricky one, and without giving up big slices of land, or just revoking the duchy from her entirely, that's always going to be a bit awkward. Anyway, Duke of Leinster, can't give him an honorary title, unfortunately. Duke of Munster. Any counts I can... I don't have that many vassal counts either, really. No, I can't do it for her. Can I do it for him? Count of Man. Okay, he's going to be her heir, so I can try and get in a bit early. Seneschal. Okay. He's actually Norwegian. Interesting. Anyway, so he's like going to inherit her. She's actually 66, so my hope is that she'll pop a clog sometime soon. Grand Mayor of Dumfries, we could give him an honorary title. Let's see. High Almoner. We keep him on side. Again, he's reasonably old, but having the Grand Mayor of Dumfries be happy with me is useful because they're generating quite a lot of cash for the realm, and if they like me, then you can actually see city tax 109, and a lot of that is from Dumfries. Yeah, 24 ducats a year is from Dumfries, from a single vassal. So that's probably my highest paying single vassal in terms of, you know, income. Anyway, he still hasn't called anyone in. We've got positive war score from having beat them in a fight, which is good. And they're trying to take what pitiful few soldiers they have left to try and take Suomi. Anyway, this is the Queen Mother, by the way. This was the one that had the claim on Poland, so we don't have a claim on Poland anymore. But anyway, goodbye, Queen Mother. You were quite capable. Barris of Dublin. I think she's actually the daughter of the person I'm pressing the claim of right here. Right, arrange, not marriage, educate child. It does get a bit confusing when I'm back and forth between versions sometimes. Mayor of Dublin, he's quite capable. And I can unpause, I think. Yes, okay, we'll also have a quick check of technology. Ah, we can actually get some cultural advances. Oh, hello, a jihad has popped up. Okay. I'm sure Pisa can handle themselves, though. They've actually proved to be very, very capable. They're actually, like, they don't control that much land, but they're very, very wealthy, and they've proved themselves to be rather a major Mediterranean power. So, yeah, Pisa's been kind of unexpected in this playthrough. Anyway, oh, also, hello. We've got some internal doings within Wales, it looks like. So, actually, you know what? I could try creating Wales. Having said earlier that I wasn't going to create the Kingdom of Wales title just yet. I could do, you know. I could do. Right. Anyway, Majesty might be useful. Popular customs and religious customs. Noble customs. Noble customs probably the most useful right now because that gives me a bump in my opinion kind of stats with everybody. Legalism would also give me +2 demence size, but I think right now noble customs is by far the more useful, so we're going to put our points into that. We can also put points into shipbuilding potentially, but I'm not going to. We're just going to let that technology grind away on its own basically. So that actually will help out my relations with everybody below me. You can actually mouse over there and we can see technology +8. So it's not a huge bump, but it basically cancels out the fact that, for instance, some of these people are like of a different culture, and it's cancelling out the foreigner negative modifier, for instance, almost entirely at this point. So yeah, it's quite useful. Right. Ooh. Okay. Now this is a rather more common message in. Now the Horse Lords update is out and the DLC, but no, this is an event-fired thing. So we've got a Khan appearing, who is I don't know where exactly he's going to appear exactly, but over somewhere here, and is that him attacking? And where is it? The Hizirids. So, yeah, that's interesting. Anyway, let's go back over here. Now, they have sieged Suomi, actually, with their 300 men, but that's kind of irrelevant in terms of the war score. A son was born to Prince Thibaut of France and Princess Rianfelt of Alba, named Emrys. Okay, so that's another one. How big are we right now? Living members, 46. There are quite a lot of McJedi spread around all over the place. The dynasty's kind of... It's not... Yeah, you start off games with a custom dynasty, and it's usually, you know, you can keep it quite tightly controlled, but at this stage, where I don't even know how far into this, what, over 200 years, I think? Just under 200 years. The dynasty has grown quite a lot, so there are McJedis in quite a lot of places, and it'd be actually quite interesting, because I think you can have a dynasty overlay, but if you could have it just highlight your own dynasty, like so all the counties and duchies and whatever that share your dynasty, if you could just highlight it across the map, and there'd probably be a few, but probably not that many. Most of them would be within the British Isles. So that siege is going fine. I'll actually very quickly find out what's going on over here. This is a war. Okay, it's somebody's trying to take Ossory, it looks like. Yeah, I don't know. It's basically vassals declaring war on each other over a single county, so it's not too bad. It's not going to make one duke disproportionately powerful over the other or anything like that. I've actually got a couple of county direct vassals myself. I should probably see if I can't... let's see, direct vassals. So, he's a direct vassal of me. It's actually probably a bit messy at the moment. I could make him a vassal of Munster, for instance, and Munster would like me much more because, let's see, no, that's not actually, that's usually a negative modifier. They'll say, you know, desires the county of whatever, but it means I'm not going to have to worry about my vassal limit. Or is that not a thing in this version of the game? It might not be, you know. But how I would do that, in fact we could just do it anyway for neatness' sake, is I could go transfer vassalage, and it would be Count of Caithness, no? Ormond? Am I getting totally confused? Wait, he shows up as being a direct vassal of me, but I can't transfer vassalage to... I'm slightly confused. No, he's not on that list unless I'm just... Nope. I don't know. He's a direct vassal of me, and that's part of... actually, I think Man has its own... No, that's part of the Isles, and that's the duchy I hold directly. I don't know. That's slightly odd. I'm getting completely sidetracked there. Normally you can just transfer vassalage and it's yeah. If I could somehow get this, you know, entire save file into the most up-to-date version of the game, I would do it, but no. There's been a host of little improvements and quality of life changes since that point, but no, we're stuck with this older version, which, you know, it still works perfectly fine. It's just I miss some of the stuff that's in newer versions. Oh, hello. Random person that's appeared in my court. Someone with a claim on the barony of... Well, we're not going to be pressing barony claims, I don't think. Although it could be interesting. I had a thought for like a one-off video, and I went and experimented. While we're waiting for this siege, I might as well, you know. Basically, I wondered if it was feasible to play as a baron. Because I actually have, in the past, inadvertently ended up as a baron. And basically, I held a county and I had a barony in another county because I'd gifted I'd given the county title of that other county to somebody else, but I'd still held on to a barony in that county. My liege took away my county title and left me with just the barony title. So, you know, if you imagine I had Suomi and I had a barony there. But that was a very old version of the game, a very long time ago, and I was investigating to see if it's possible these days, and it's not. I was trying to engineer circumstances where that would happen, and the game basically ends for you. So, oh well, so much for that idea. So, Scottish war for Aruden's claim on Satacunta. We can offer peace. I can enforce my demands, and... Oh, I thought he'd become a vassal, but apparently not. But I can always offer him vassalage, even though we're the right culture. Oh no, wait, he's fake Scottish and I'm Welsh. That is a bit of an issue, actually. What's my heir. My heir is fake Scottish. Anyway, we've installed a guy that's going to be a bit more friendly towards us. So my successor might be able to get him to come into the realm. So this war, it wasn't entirely pointless. Anyway, oh, okay, I guess I'm getting that message because she's a close family member, as in a daughter of mine. So let's get them marched back to the boats. And while we've been doing that, I mean, that was purely with retinues. While we've been doing that, our manpower's actually gone back to where it should be. Our vassal manpower is pretty much topped out, and we can basically scrape everything together at once because we're going to be fighting in the home isles pretty much. I could also maybe, let's see, put a bit of infrastructure investment in, or do I want to go for that Welsh crown? I maybe could, you know. Kingdom of Wales. It would cost me 232 gold. That's not even that much. And 200 piety. So we're going to do that. Create a Kingdom of Wales. We will possibly need to look at the kingdom laws. Agnatic, cognatic, dynasty. And that should, let's see. So we want to try and nominate Mace. Oh, what's that? Plot message. Duke Constantine of Connacht seeks to kill Count Gilchrist of. Well, that seems fairly. Anyway, so yeah, we want the current Tanist basically. So we're not going to split the crowns, and we can also possibly try. Oh, I know what I was going to do, by the way. Having created the Crown of Wales, I was going to rename it. So, we've got Scotland too. Well, you know how Wales basically, you know, the Welsh language just kind of despises vowels. So we're going to call it Scotland. There we go. I guess technically it should be Scotland 3, but yeah. No, actually, we'll just go with Scotland. We'll definitely know which one that one is. Oh, I've put a C in the wrong place there, haven't I? But yeah, no, there we go. Because that's it. Probably needs some double L's in there as well. But in fact, yeah, well, that's what we should do. We should make it a double L, shouldn't we? Because it's Welsh, so therefore, in fact, we'll go nuts. We'll make it 3 L's. Because it's Wales. There you go. It's the Crown of Scotland. How are you supposed to say that? I don't know. Anyway, Wales hates vowels. It's well known. So let's get our retinues back home. I can speed that up a bit. And a bunch of dynasty messages. Hopefully, they're going to vote in yes. So there we go. Right, everybody's back home. Can dismiss those boats. Right, now I've got my Chancellor fabricating. Hello. Well, another civil war. And this is he's leading. Okay, he's of Nottingham, but he's leading Senwolf. Earl Senwolf. Who's Earl Senwolf that has a claim? We can actually click. It's probably an easier way to click there and see who. Senwolf, Earl of Suffolk, who is of the House of Bamborough. So he's not a Caption guy. Well, that's interesting. Anyway, we could press our claim on Warrick, because Mercia is one of the revolting duchies. So we're not even directly attacking England, which is useful. So we could claim Warrick for Jaina. We'll do that. We'll just raise my own troops for now and get them all together in the same place. Now this has brought absolutely nobody in. Also apparently that's flipped to be Hereford rather than Mercia. That might be a cultural thing. I don't know. Also, Denmark is somehow losing this war. I really want the Company of the Hat to win. That would be amazing. For Denmark to be the Company of the Hat. Although long term, well, I want Denmark to be weaker, but if the Company of the Hat like took over Denmark wholesale, I don't think that would happen. I think they'd maybe take a county or two. But if they took the entirety of Denmark, actually that might make them quite tough to fight. But it would be kind of hilarious to see an entire, like quite a large country go to a mercenary company. That would actually be a little bit hilarious. Oh, Yoda McJedi, Yoda Ap Mace McJedi has died at the ripe old age of 71. It's really hard to keep track of them at the moment. There's so many of McJedis. I mean, we're down to 45 from whenever I checked earlier, which was what, 48? But yeah, no, it's messy. Right, Constantine Campbell has been elected the new Grand Mayor. Let's see what our relations are. Not too bad, actually. We could make him High Almoner, and that would give us plus 10 reputation boost. So that's fine. Right, so, yes, Mercia. So it's basically these counties here, and it's only Warrick that we're going to get out of this. But for this particular war, Warrick will become my vassal. I basically... Oh, hello. Delsa of Warrick. She's actually of my... somehow? Okay, she's a daughter of King Richard. And, oh, her mother was... Okay, but Warrick didn't pass into the realm. Warwick's still a vassal of England. But this is probably how we have the claim then. Well, if nothing else, this is a war of liberation, because seeing one of our kin being under the filthy yoke of the McJedis. Wow. No, wait, what? No, I mean the filthy yoke of the Caption guys. Wow. I know what I mean. Okay then. There's a Freudian slip. Not even a Freudian slip. I forgot who was who for a moment there. Apparently, Caption guy is they're the baddies. Okay. I remember now. I've got it. Everybody. Okay, it's fine. Yeah, no, but we're liberating Warrick from the oppressive thumb of House Caption guy. Because to see one of our good number being so cruelly oppressed by that evil malignant presence that is House Caption guy, well, that's just too much to bear. We're actually probably hostile to English troops right now. Yeah, we will be. So we'll actually be fighting any English troops that we come across. Now that is actually Hereford's main army. We'll go and attack them, and then we'll siege Warwick, because obviously that's the county that we need to be holding in order to really press our claim. But battles give you a lot of war score, so it's worth actually having that fight first. So we'll keep a sharp eye on this. If any of these troops turn up, these Company of the Hat troops turn up in Scotland, that might be a problem, but I doubt they will somehow. Between my retinues and my levies, I've got more than enough capability of dealing with anything that comes my way. Right, well also, I mean, we do have enough cash to... well, we can either get more income, or we can get cavalry. We could also put money into a longbow range. And I remembered what it was, by the way. Last time I've forgotten, but it's Shiltron Training Ground was the kind of Scottish cultural thing. But I don't want to put money into a longbow range and then have that disappear when our next guy comes in as being fake Scottish. So we'll actually, I think maybe do stables, which are quite expensive, but cavalry can be very effective. Although in CK2, really it's quantity over quality. With all the kind of troop mechanics, what it basically comes down to is, usually, I mean, outside of terrain modifiers, it's usually the person with more troops that wins. So that's why these days, obviously these are the old unnerfed retinues, but with the bigger retinues, it is basically worth mostly just going for the skirmish retinues, because they give you the most troops, and it doesn't so much matter that it's the same, you know, kind of troops. So it looks like Jerusalem's been once again lost, but you know what? I'm sure Pisa will do their best to take it back, because that back and forth has just continued over and over again. Jerusalem's just been changing hands like I don't know what. But it's kind of interesting, because a lot of the playthroughs I've had with CK2, that doesn't really happen. There might be 1 or 2 successful crusades, but unless you're persecuting it yourself, it's very, very hard to hold on to it. But for an AI-controlled like country or kingdom or whatever, or in this case a dogedom, I don't know what you'd call it. I don't know what the adjective there would be. But for them to be so persistent about it is unusual, and for it to change hands so often. And of course there was a lot of back and forth across the history of the Crusades, and it was quite a long time before the last grip of the Crusaders was finally loosened, before they were finally and irrevocably pushed out. Anyway, we're just sieging at this point. They actually ran away from my army, which was the sensible thing for them to do. So, you know what? We're at Warrick now. We'll just siege Warrick. And I don't know why I'm... Oh, wait. Somebody needs educating. That's what they need. They need some of that education. Let's see. Someone who's got decent stats. The Bishop of Lindisfarne, although craven and cynical aren't so good. Lustful, I don't know. Diligent, that's not so bad actually. And the fact that craven wouldn't matter so much in a female character, what their martial score is. Although having a decent martial score in female characters is quite useful for that's someone imprisoning somebody. If you're trying to marry them to somebody else. Right, this is just a nobody really, so okay, never mind. They didn't matter, whoever they were. Right, let's speed that up by 1. Let's also have a look at the actual progress. It probably is better that I don't attack that army directly, actually, because the longer that civil war goes on with England, the better it is for me. Because if that civil war finishes, this particular war, claim war, also finishes, and I basically have to redeclare against England. But England's pretty weak right now, so it wouldn't be that big of an issue. It would just be time wasted, essentially, which we don't particularly want. So it's a pity you can't... I couldn't just, like, invite her to become my vassal. Right. Oh, hello. My son-in-law has become the King of France. And McJedi is the heir to the Kingdom of France. I mean, it's a bit of a sorry kingdom right now. Oh, hello. Although it's reformed a lot. Because, remember, the Castilian inheritance happened, and then that's just kicked off a massive number of civil wars. But, yeah, no, France holds basically what is most of Aquitaine, it looks like. And Castile holds most of Aquitaine, rather. Did I say that already? I can't remember. Maybe I said France holds Aquitaine, which isn't true. But the northern part of, northern half of France, that's going to be inherited by a McJedi. So the McJedis are just, like, spreading far and wide. Anyway, but because he was my court chaplain, we actually now need another one. And I guess we'll go for this guy. Zane MacGilpatrick, or, well, McGilpatrick, I suppose that would be, as we'd say today. Anyway, I'm not so hot on my Gallic pronunciations. It was funny, there was actually a thing a little while ago, I think it was last year, or maybe it was the year before that, actually. Somebody basically had to, like, they wanted to use their Gallic name on Facebook, and Facebook went, nah, that's made up, that's just a made up name, you're being silly, go away. And it took him a really long time for Facebook to like concede that no, Gallic names are actual proper names, and they can legally be used as you can like change your name to your Gallic name, and that's all fine and good if you want to, but the guy just couldn't use it as his Facebook name. But eventually Facebook caved in, because it'd be a bit silly to stop someone using their actual name. Anyway, this siege is taking a little while. We'll speed that up again. There's all kinds of internal civil wars at the moment. We might try and bump the Crown Authority up sooner rather than later. That might actually be the theme of this episode, is Crown Authority, because we'll have pressed this claim for Warrick, and undoubtedly England will try and press it back for me at some point. Hello. Why am I getting to name this? Oh, his wife is still in my realm, even though he's in France. I don't know, she didn't go to France with him. Okay, Dristan, I guess. Sure, why not? Emrys ap Tibord. There's going to be a Welsh McJedi King of France. His reasons. Son was born to Prince Sion of Alba. Okay, Prince Sion of Alba is my son. So this is my grandson. And he's going to be fake Scottish. He's slow. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh well. He's probably not going to be in the line of succession, but that's fine. There's plenty of McJedi's to go around. Right, minus 32% war score on this. Yeah, they keep trying and they keep getting beaten in fights, would be my guess. So Denmark's really not doing well. I could have gone and helped them out, but this is much more amusing. Because, you know, I did accept their call to war, but I've then just, you know, left them to their own devices, basically. I thought, no, they'll be fine. Surely they'll do it. And if they don't, it'll be hilarious. And as it turns out, it's going to be hilarious. Anyway, Mercia, Hereford, rather, the Duchess of Hereford, hasn't called anybody in. So that's fine. But I'm not sure that she could call anyone in right now. Yeah, she's got 2 that are, yeah, probably vassals of other people. Right, here we go. Troop reinforcement rate plus 50%, so that's very nice. And this is my province where I get most of my troops from anyway. There'll be even more troops once that's finished building, so that's all well and good. And even with all my armies raised and my retinues are probably... I don't think they are reinforcing at all at the moment. Oh, no, okay, they are reinforcing a little bit. Even with my retinues reinforcing, which obviously costs you cash, we're still getting quite a nice amount of money. Oh, hello, okay, Duchess Maud of Moray. She wasn't even someone that we had a faction. Oh, Princess Ethel for Alba. My sister. They want to put my sister on the crown. Because I don't know. She's currently inside the Republic of Dumfries, I guess. We could just accede. She's 60 rather. She won't last that long. She's also ill. I mean, the worst that could happen is that we accede and she immediately dies, and, well, the succession that was going to happen happens anyway, but it significantly weakens the realm because we've had 2 rulers in very, very quick succession. Or we could say, I will not be blackmailed, at which point there's going to be a civil war. So let's actually see who's in this faction. It is the Duke of Leinster and the Duke of Albany. So that's not insignificant. Now, Leinster's not too bad, but Albany would be... I don't know. I think we'll fight it out. Okay. Oh, hello. What? Why has Ireland suddenly... What? Did I click the wrong thing? Maybe? Oh, right. I'm her heir. I maybe clicked the wrong button there. I meant to fight it out, and instead we've split the crowns. Whoops. Now, her heir is me. And so we need to plot to kill her, basically. It's a bit rotten, but... yeah. We need to reunite the crowns. So this is... This is what we're gonna have to do. Right, this is the plot we're gonna take then. So we're going to oh, that's the wrong... Oh wait, yes, no, we can click that. Okay. Right. I really thought I don't know what happened there. That's also cut down my forces that I have available quite considerably. The map's all turned green. It's all turned green. This was not supposed to happen. This is not supposed to happen. So my county has moved to my, yeah, Bamborough. Whoops. Okay, Yeah, okay, we need a spy master apparently. Okay, that's fine. We'll see who else we can invite to the plot. So that was 33%. I guess Grand Mayor of Dumfries will invite him, and we'll invite... Let's see... I could just set it to auto-invite everybody, but sometimes you get people that invited that have traits that... Like, if you invite a plotter that's got the trait honest, I'm guessing that's a bad thing. So, whereas a plotter with the trait deceitful is probably a good thing. So let's see who else. Yes, you're deceitful. Drunkards, we probably don't want the Count of Clydesdale, then he might blurt it out when he's, you know... arbitrary, paranoid, okay, we'll have the Bishop of Elgin. I'm trying to be a bit more selective here. Well, I could just, wow, we're making the best of a bad, you know, thing here. We'll have him in. And I was actually reading that more plot power actually forces plots to happen faster. So actually more plot power, if it goes over 100%, that's actually not a bad thing. I used to think over 100% would increase the chances of discovery, but I think it's actually chances of discovery is based on the people that you invite in, potentially. Right, okay. So, whoops. We also have a few tech points because we can bump things up in Northumberland slightly. So that's fine. And legalism. Because that's where we were in the Western Isles. But yeah, it's just the fact that she is, you know, we're her... Oh no, we weren't. We're not her direct heir anymore. Wait, okay, Tanist... Oh, God, have I split the... We can still reunite, because he's still the Tanist for both Skitland and Scotland too. So this is still... This is less disastrous than it appears at first glance. But we need to reunite things fairly quickly. And this is why, yeah, multiple crowns before you get an empire sorted out can make things a bit messy. But anyway, so plot power's nearly now at 100%, and we haven't even had everyone accept yet, so that's fine. We're also winning this war. That's fine. 150% plot power. Hopefully this is going to trigger sooner rather than later. Is there anyone else we can actually invite without throwing gold their way? I don't think so. Now this will possibly impact on my incomes a little bit, but not that much actually. Although my most valuable... can we actually... Yeah, I don't know. I clicked on the wrong button. I seriously thought I was clicking on the right thing, and then nope, you clicked on the wrong one. I was going to fight it out, and then I exceeded instead. Whoops! I'm good at Crusader Kings too. Yeah, wow. I really should have read that message more carefully, maybe. Oh God, this is the disaster in Poland all over again, or the disaster in Denmark rather. Anyway, right, we've got Warrick now. In fact, we'll send these troops in to fight Hereford's troops. Although, hopefully they won't just run away. But we need a big more chunk of war score before this can continue. Yeah, we're gonna do it the Kerbal Space Program way. We're gonna make the best of our own mistakes and, you know, use that to make things more interesting or something. I don't know. I think that works better in Kerbal Space Program than it does in Crusader Kings 2. Can't believe I lost the Crown of Scotland, essentially. But that was unexpected, though. That faction demand message to put Queen Effa. In fact, there's a bunch of them voting for me as their successor. But I can't see exactly who the... I don't have access to that kingdom screen anymore. At least I don't think I do. No, I don't. England, yes, but not Scotland, even though I've got one county that's held by a Scottish vassal. Anyway, 75% war score now for there. Where are they marching to? Worcester? Where's Worcester? There's Worcester. No, my lot are marching to Worcester. The rest are marching to Hereford. So we'll actually march our troops into Hereford. Try and finish off this army, and that might give me enough war score for the fight, for the war to be over, basically. That should do the trick. Hopefully. Hopefully. Wow, this episode has been slightly more eventful than I had hoped it would be, in ways than I had, you know, not imagined. 95% war score. Right, we take out this army 375, and that will be it. Right, 17th April, 19th April. So we'll get there in time. We will easily crush that army. And, well, then Warrick should become a vassal of mine, I think. This splitting of the crowns complicates things a bit, but, yeah, in theory... no. I guess that she would have become a vassal if... no, she is a vassal. Why hasn't her colour... Oh, the county colour just was taking a little while to catch up. Okay, so no, that's fine. That was entirely as expected. So Warrick is now a vassal. And that gives me a point of friction with England, which is good. And it chips away another county from England, which is even better. So I think we might actually end the episode here. Now we've got this plot going. Very quickly, like there's other people I could invite. Paranoid, deceitful, temperate, 20%. We'll have you in the plot, definitely. We'll try and, like, I suspect if we end it here, we're not going to take too long for this, you know, to reunite the crowns. But actually, I think we'll just end it like this. Like, what have I done? Those borders, my God, my kingdom, what have I done? What have I done? Anyway, oh, there will be comments. Oh, there will be comments. And you can leave them below, yes. You can also do the usual things of hitting the like button. You can subscribe if you aren't already. And, as always, stay tuned for more.